Okay, so this video went viral on Instagram 2 days ago, and a lot of you wanted to see what I have in my archive. So I got some free time now after work, and I'll show you what I have in my collection. Okay, so starting at the top, we have a few independent magazines like Dazed, Arena, Heroine, ID. And right under ID magazine, Vogue Paris from the mid-80s starts. The rest of the shelf is just continuation of Vogue Paris through all the decades of 90s, 2000s, late 80s, 2010s, and into 2020s. I think the last one here is October 2024. Same goes for Vogue Italia. It's the same decades throughout into, I think down there is the latest one, and I think the latest one is from 2025 actually. And American Vogue starts there, March 1991. It fills up this whole shelf, and some of it continues here. The Vogue UKs from the early 90s are not in the shelf yet, but I have one from the late 90s and early 2000s, and the rest are from like 2017 until last year. There's 2 Vogue Scandinavia there and 1 Vogue Portugal, a few Harper's Bazaar from Liz Tilbert's era, and the random mixtures of Elle magazines, Harper's Bazaars, and GQs. Here are a few Vogue Germany from the early 2010s, a few Porter magazines, a few Vanity Fairs, a few Purple fashion magazines, L'Officiel Homme, a few Vogue Homme, a random mix of different magazines like ID Magazine, The Face, Playboy, Numero, and also a few books. And here are a few interview magazines from the early to mid 90s, and a few interview magazines from the late 2000s into early 2010, and a few V magazines. And this shelf is all about L'Uomo Vogue, and this shelf is all about W magazine, and we also got a few V magazine there too. Up there I have 1 Girls and 2 interview magazines. One is actually for a friend, and a V magazine I found in Paris. And these are my oldest fashion magazines. So we have 2 American Vogues from the 60s, 2 Marie Claire France from the 50s, and 2 Elle France. One is from the 50s and one is from the 60s. And also I got more magazines. I got a few GQ from the 90s, interview magazines from the 70s and the 80s, Harper's Bazaar from Liz Tilbert's era, a few IDs from the late 90s and early 2000s, and a few